What's going on, everybody? It's Blake here with Gorilla Zen Fitness, and today we're in the kitchen of my new house. So last spring I made a video about how to make a green smoothie that had a lot of nutrition in it, and today I'm going to show you how to make a more advanced smoothie, if you will, that I specifically formulated to help combat joint inflammation. So, if you just started exercising or you started to take up a new movement pattern and you find that your joints are kind of like inflamed and painful after your training sessions, then this is a great shake to follow those training sessions with to help combat that joint inflammation. So this is not actually going to fix anybody's pain at the root of their issues, but it will help to combat the inflammation. But if you are experiencing joint pain when you're training, then something else is going on there, and you're gonna want to address that with like corrective exercise, rehab, and a lot of mobility work. Addressing the physical aspect of it, the movement side of it. With this, you'll be addressing the chemical side, but you really need to address that movement side as well. So, watch some of my videos and maybe even seek the help of a physical therapist. With that being said, I want to preface this video by saying that a lot of the ingredients that I'm putting into the shake here today are going to be very, very, very powerful anti-inflammatories. So much so that they could be contraindicated, meaning you might not want to take these ingredients if you're on certain medications that they might interact with adversely. So with that being said, always talk to your physician prior to trying out any of these things. With that being said, I'm just going to get right into it here. Last time I kind of laid out the ingredients. This time I'm just going to kind of throw them in my Vitamix here and explain the benefits of and the reason why I'm putting them in there as I go along. So yeah, we'll just get right to it. So basically, the first thing I like to start with are organic berries. Okay, so I got these from Whole Foods. It's always best to source locally if you can. So, buying from like a farmer's market, organically, of course. But the reason why I start with berries is, one, they have a low caloric density. There's not a lot of calories in them. Not that I'm really worried about that myself, because I'm so active and I train a lot. But in a lot of people, that are watching their calorie intake, berries are useful because they're full of nutrients and they don't have very many calories. Second thing about them is they're full of antioxidants, which help fight free radicals, which when they accumulate in your joints, they produce inflammation. So having a diet high in antioxidants can help combat that inflammation. Okay. So after that, I usually like to go with like 1 carrot, just for those beta carotenes. I've made a video in the past about carrots, and the beta carotenes are really helpful for your skin. They make your skin look nice, and they help your eyes too. So usually chop up 1 organic carrot, throw that in there. So we got the berry base. I put about 1/2 cup in there. You can do whatever you want. Now we're going to start getting into those really, really potent anti-inflammatories. First thing we're going to start with is organic ginger root. Okay, so this is just the root. What you want to do is shave off some of this skin here. That can cause like indigestion issues. So I usually just shave it off so that the yellow fibrous root is the only part that's exposed. Just gonna keep shaving here. It should look something like that. Okay, from there, just chop that chunk, get a nice big chunk of ginger, put that right in there. Ginger is a super powerful anti-inflammatory, okay? And that's just gonna be one of the anti-inflammatory compounds that works synergistically with the rest of these, okay? The next is going to be turmeric powder, okay? So this is a spice that you can buy at the grocery store. It's used a lot in Indian dishes. It's super, super powerful anti-inflammatory. You can Google search all of these things to check their validity. But for this, I try to just put, a little bit more than like a teaspoon. You don't want to use too much of this because it's really, it's really flavorful. You might not want your whole shake to taste like turmeric, if you know what I'm saying. From there, we're actually going to add, let me see if I have it here, black pepper. I normally have black pepper here. I don't know where it is, but you would want to crack about 2 cracks of black pepper and add that in there. And the reason why is because black pepper has a chemical in it called piperine, which actually increases the bioavailability of the turmeric by, I think, like up to 300%. Bioavailability just means that it makes it more absorbable, okay? So it makes the turmeric basically more effective when it's taken with black pepper, okay? So put some black pepper in there. I normally have it, I don't know where it is. So we got a really potent anti-inflammatory base going on already. We got those berries with the high antioxidants, we got the ginger, and we got the turmeric, okay? Now I'm gonna add, this is just some Inner Eco coconut kefir probiotic, okay? It's got beneficial bacteria in it. I usually put like a capful in. This doesn't really have anti-inflammatory properties, but I'm gonna drink this shake when we're done, and I always try to keep my probiotics high because they help with digestion and things like that. Next thing we're gonna add is some apple cider vinegar. This is very, very alkaline, okay? It's acidic in its state right now inside of this glass, but when it's absorbed and then when it disassociates in the bloodstream, it actually turns alkaline, okay, the opposite of acidic. Lemons do the same thing. So when I was younger, I used to wonder, I'd hear people say that lemons help to, make your body more alkaline. I'd be like, how does that work? It's acidic, but that's how it happens. When it absorbs in your body, it turns alkaline. Next, we're gonna add our about 4 Brazil nuts. Okay, I got these from Whole Foods as well. This is just going to provide a little bit of protein, some healthy fats to the equation. Okay. Next thing we're going to add, just to make it a little bit more balanced, is some plant-based protein powder. So this is just a sample I got. I don't even know, organic plant protein. Oh, it's by Garden of Life. I like that brand. I've never actually had this as a sample. You can use any type of plant-based protein in your shake to add a little bit of protein to it. Pea protein, hemp protein's good. Another one that I like by Garden of Life is called Raw Fit. Basically, any type of plant protein. You want to stay away from soy because that can mess up your hormones. But any type of plant protein. I would avoid, if you are dealing with joint inflammation, that you avoid animal-based protein. So things like whey protein from cows, milk protein, egg protein. And the reason for that is because animal proteins tend to cause like an inflammatory reaction in the body. And if you're already dealing with joint inflammation, then you don't want to further that inflammation. So going with a plant-based protein is always best. Occasionally, I mean, I've used eggs before in the past, and I still do use eggs depending on how hard I train. But if I'm really feeling inflamed and my joints are hurting, I'll go for plant-based protein. Okay, so we got protein in here. We got all of these ingredients over here. Now it's time to add some green leafy veggies to it. Okay, so we'll start off with these. These are just dandelion greens. Okay, got these from Whole Foods as well. Yes, these are actually the greens of dandelions, and you can actually eat these. They're really good for your digestion, and they're green, which is always going to be good for making your body more alkaline. Okay, so this is going to give us the green base of our drink. It's going to make it, it's going to be responsible for what makes it green. We're going to add a couple other greens here. I got a bunch of kale. I'm not going to use all of this, probably just put a handful of kale in there. Okay, so again, all of these greens that I'm adding right now are just to give our body like an alkaline load. This is cilantro. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit of cilantro in there. And this alkaline load is going to help take our body out of that acidic state into a more alkaline state, okay? In conjunction with that, these green leafy veggies are just loaded with secondary nutrients, okay? So you're gonna get a lot of vitamins and minerals from these things too, okay? They're very, very, very nutritionally dense. Okay, the last thing we're gonna add here is some dinosaur kale, I believe they call this. That's what this is, okay? I'm gonna throw that in there too. So the way I make my shakes, basically, you just saw it, okay? I don't really care about the taste very much. What you can do is you can adjust the amount of berries that you add to it to make it taste better, okay? Because I only put like about half a cup of berries in, and it tastes pretty green. It doesn't taste the best the way I make it, but I don't really care about taste. But if you're trying to make it taste better, you can just add more you can increase the fruit to green ratio and that'll improve it. I would recommend sticking with berries still and avoiding other really sugary fruits that don't have a lot of antioxidants like bananas and things like that. Okay, so we got this going now. Now we're just gonna add some filtered water. This came from my Berkey water filter. This is kind of like an art. You just have to like kind of eyeball it and you know, kind of go by how well it blends up. If it's not blending very well and it's too viscous, then I usually add more water, but you don't want it to be too watery either. So I got it filled up to about right here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this thing on. Probably need to grab my plunger thing. Let's see here. Boom, there we have it. Super powerful anti-inflammatory shake. Let's see how it tastes. That plant protein is new. Like I said, I've never tried it before, so see how this goes here. Yeah, no, that's very, very good. I like the taste of that new protein. Well, I hope this video helped you out. I hope that you know, you've learned something about these ingredients and start incorporating them into your life. You know, you don't have, this is not like gospel. You don't have to follow these ingredients exactly. Play around with it a little bit. Make it suitable to your tastes. The most important things to have in here in terms of combating that inflammation are the greens, the berries, the turmeric, and the ginger. Okay, so make sure that those are in there. And you can pick up all those things pretty much from your average grocery store. The turmeric, just look in the spice section. Ginger might be a little bit harder to find in its root form, but you can definitely pick it up at Trader Joe's or at Whole Foods if you have access to those things. But yeah, I really hope this video helps you out. If you liked it, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel right over here. And if you haven't done so yet, please check out my Facebook page. I'll include a link in the description down below. You go there and give that a like. Other than that, keep those joints nice and cool, and I'll see you next time.